I was in the bando a long, long time. Need to get the Lambo and drive. I was in the lab, you were on my mind, but all I really do is just go. I was in the bando a long, long time. Need to get the Lambo and drive.
So just got done with this meeting. Just saw an email that said, hey, if you have it, I actually need it for, they need the proposal today basically instead of tomorrow. But last night, that's what I did. Late last night I was putting together the proposal, so I actually have a draft done. So now just somehow today I'm gonna have to fit in a little review with Mike, which is gonna be difficult because as you heard the schedule earlier, it's like back to back to back. But we need to get this out because it's like a couple $100,000 deal probably. So that's what I'm figuring out.
Huh? Yeah.
So,
Yo, I brought you some toys.
Bag. What's that? I like randomly have this bag.
You have this?
Yeah, I used it when I was in Southeast Asia.
Dude, it's awesome. I like barely can fit my laptop in here, but just enough, so I'm like super lightweight.
That's for hiking, bro.
I know. I like it though. It's like
Did you ever put
in the
that-
summer it's
did you
nice
ever
because
use
then my
the-
back doesn't get all
Did you ever
hot.
use the
The water thing?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, no, I know. Camelback. I know.
Water. Yeah, I do.
Hey, it's Anthony.
Hey man, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Quickly, how I met him was over a Medium article that he wrote, or that's how I met him, was because I responded to his Medium post, and as I'm trying to build out this sales and marketing machine right now, I'm just picking the brains of different people who have built up sales teams before, and so he's one of them. He was generous enough to give me some of his time, and basically confirmed that I'm in the right mindset and thinking around building out this sales process. One thing that he did add that I thought was super valuable was around when you're emailing someone cold, shoot for 10 times over 6 to 8 weeks, which I was only going to do about 5 to 7, because that's what I normally do for like inbound stuff, but it makes sense, hey, if it's cold, increase that percentage. And then also essentially gave me permission, which you see all these like cold emails that salespeople like send, and like I hate them. And I didn't want to be that person, especially as like the founder of the company, like sending those type of emails. So I was already thinking about making them more custom, more human, more personal when I reach out to people, and so that's what I'm going to do. But now I have to build out that sequence. But start with figuring out, okay, really defining the target customer, which I have been doing. And I mean, we've worked with a lot of people, and over the last week, I started building out our customer profile, listing out who they are, what their pain points are, etc. And I'm going to build out essentially sales material, but emails around that to help talk to them.
So, what do you spend a lot of your time doing?
Yeah, so it's shifted because recently, so the guy you met in the room, he came on as COO, so that's freed up a lot of like operational weight for me. Alright, so now, recently, over the last like month, my role is just now focused on sales, marketing, so like sourcing deals, and then overall product, meaning like the way we deliver things, like just a general process, like how we go from like start to finish with a product. I've been working on that for years, so.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
But
Alright, dude, good to see you.
Alright, cool.
Same man.
But I don't know, I just wanted to touch base with you.
Really quickly on my last meeting, I'll give you the update on the last meeting. So I had a call with a marketing agency. So as I'm looking to, as we are trying to grow this business, one thing I'm looking at is just like we're gonna at some point hire people like for sales and marketing. It's just a matter of whether they're in-house, contract, I don't know, I'm figuring that out. So anyways, I'm like interviewing a bunch of agencies and individuals and whatever as they set the sales and marketing strategy, and so I had a call with one group, so I don't know, I might test them out and use them. Now we're about to, in 5 minutes, have a meeting for a potential project.
This is just me redefining the services. Doesn't really matter. He's not gonna fucking look at this part anyway. Feel free to take my comments and put them into your thing, or take bits and pieces that you want. I just tried to delineate it a little bit.
So that's why this to me is actually super important.
Oh yeah.
If you do it better than they can and clarify it, they're like, wow, this guy gets it, right? So like, this is actually super important. And while it's not, let's call it the most fun, it's super important.
No, I think the problem solution can be fun, which is why I'm saying that, like, I try to write words that are like, I would write something like it's a nightmare or something like that. There is like a bit of there's a bit of like a storytelling straight up, like, there's a bit of like personality and storytelling that can come through. Because ultimately you're pitching them.
Yeah, it's just the way you want to do it. The way like I initially wrote it, mine is more straightforward to the point. I'm really, like, my goal when I write these is to outline and identify the problem as good or better than they already know it themselves. Sit in a room with one of the designers and mock up some shit and do something like really dope. Trying to make some fucking deals, man. It's been a good month. It's been a good month so far. We've closed I think a little bit over 200,000 in new bids this month, which is a good number. We do that every month.
A year and a half ago, or whatever it was. Like a year ago and now, it's truly dramatic. It's just so much stress. It, like, any human being, like, if you're under that much cognitive stress, it's like very tough to manage.
So I'm glad like I got through that. It was really good because I didn't know like what was I didn't see like the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I'm like good and so yeah, I'm happy and it seems like you're doing well though. Like,
oh yeah, I'm having a great time.
I'm not done yet.
So what is your business? What do you do?
So we're building a way for people in their early 20s to figure out how to deal with adulting. So essentially like building budgets, building credit, health insurance, like all kinds of stuff that you should have been taught in school but didn't. Oh, the
problem.
Yeah.
How to solve it though, like in a good way, yeah, that's always a challenge.
That is the product, right? Bringing that out.
Yeah, now at this point I'm like, okay, cool, I figured out the base. Had a lot of learning along the way though. Like the biggest lesson for me was that I can't, and someone actually phrased this for me today because I was explaining it to them. They're like, yeah, you can't treat people as like resources, meaning like, and that's actually what I used to call. I was like, oh, we're gonna like have resources on this project, whatever. Because in high school I used to run an eBay business, right? And all it was arbitrage. So I was like, all right, I'm going to buy this and I can sell it for this, and I just need more of these, and I can make more money, and the difference is the profit. So I was like, okay, that works. So like I applied it to like this business actually, and I was like, okay, I have this project, and these people work on the project, and we make this how a business makes money.
Right.
And it, like the whole human element and company like culture component was completely lacking.
Right.
And so that's what's like over the last year been really focused on.
That's so cool.
You know, all that like operational stuff, I don't have to worry about. Now I can just focus on like sales and marketing, and so now it's like a fun challenge for me because I've never built out a sales component to a business or marketing. It's just like, oh, like we're referral based, we get partners and whatever. Now I'm like free, and I'm like, cool. So now there's a whole new like adventure for me. I'm like, okay, how do I scale a service-based business? Which is like a lot of people say like you can't do it, it's really hard, whatever. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna figure it out. Yeah, totally.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but like now I actually have the time to like think through it.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I just think through it enough and like spend enough time, like I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Definitely grown as a person and as a
Which is necessary too from where you were, like so overwhelmed with it. It seems like companies go in phases, you know, there's like crazy growth and then you need to like restructure the internals to make sure make sure that you can actually sustain more growth, and then you go back into growth phase.
Yeah, because like
I think that's totally normal.
The first like full year of the business, once we started bringing on people, we went from 2 to 10 people right away, like within like 6 months.
Crazy.
And I was like, oh, well, like this came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then we like stayed at that, slowly added people. But it's been that size for the last like 3 years.
Yeah.
I haven't figured it out.
Right.
Now I feel like
now you're ready.
Yeah.
The base is stable enough that like, you can build off of it. Right?
Like I can step away from, the product, like each client, like I don't have to be involved anymore.
Amazing. That's so cool. Because you have PMs now.
I used to PM, I used to build them, and then I PM'd them, and then, now I can okay, cool. Here's we have an internal playbook process on here's how we do everything. So when we're running, a product sprint, we do every, card sort, etc. It's all there, how we do things, whatever. How we run, development sprints, everything's just there. And it's just been years of building that out. It's cool. So now I have really good PMs there, really good designers, really good developers who just understand and not only that, instead of me having to keep iterating on that, everyone else is helping to iterate on that, which is amazing. Because I used to just do it all myself. I'd be okay, what did we learn from here? Great, let's pull it back in. Now
you've also hired amazingly. How have you done that as an agency?
Yeah, it's hard. But just people again. It's literally I've never used a recruiter. It's all just people who know people who whatever. That's it. It's really interesting.
Cool.
Daniel got hit. Cool. I look good. I can't help it. I look way too good. Yeah, I can't help it. Cashing all these checks. I can't help it.
10 o'clock now. Didn't even realize how late it was.
Go get lost in it. Go get lost in it. Go get lost in it. Go get lost in it.